What's up, Instagram? It's Greg here, Fisherman's Headquarters, checking in with you tonight to see how things are going. I wanted to bring in a special guest in a little bit. Hopefully you guys are having a great night. I am. Just kind of hanging here at home, enjoying the quarantine as much as I can enjoy it. Happy to be here with my wife and my baby boy. So first things first, guys, I wanted to check in, see what's up. You guys got messages, send them our way. A couple guys from the shop might jump in. I see Blake's already on. Maybe some of the other guys will hop on here. Actually see Max is on here too, so cool. Hopefully you guys have some questions. If not, it's all good. So first things first, I wanted to reach out and say that we do have some fresh clams. There's not many, but a little bit. I know it's been a hard thing to find this year. The drum fishermen are all about the fresh clam, so we kind of pulled some strings, did what we could, and fortunately at one of the local contacts came through for us. So they're almost gone, but we got a little bit. If you guys want some clams, tomorrow would be like kind of our last shot. They'll definitely be sold out tomorrow. Give you a heads up, we got a couple days left of tog fishing. Tog fishing's been pretty good. If you want to get out there, now's the time. If you check out fishinglbi.com, that's the tackle shop's blog page for fishery reports. There are some solid reports up right now. A couple 16-pound fish, 15, 16-pound fish. They were just recently caught on those couple nice days that came through. So basically, first and foremost, I wanted to really focus on South Philly Fred and Comanche Surfcasters with this Instagram Live. It was an idea that came about when I hit the 18,000 mark. And when I say we, the tackle shop, Fred is a longtime friend of the shop, longtime friend of myself and the guys at the shop. And he was really the number one guy that said, hey, man, you guys got to get on Instagram way back when. So hopefully he wants to jump on and request to hop on. Freddie, if you hear me, man, just hit the button down there, wherever it is. Just wanted to, kind of reach out and say, thank you to Fred, but also thank you so much to all of our followers. I know 18,000 is a drop in the hat in the Instagram world, but each and every follower means a lot to me. It's a lot of content, a lot of time that myself and also some of the guys at the shop put into, kind of creating the page. So hopefully we're not like every other run-of-the-mill tackle shop out there. Hopefully you see we're a little unique. We try our best to kind of share our own personalities, our own fishing experiences, and kind of, live through you guys sometimes. I like to see a lot of our followers sending us pictures of things they've caught on tackle they bought from us. So yeah, let me quick waste some time here. See if Freddie sent a request. And Freddie, you on there? So yeah, just accept his request. Think Freddie here in a second. Freddie!
Yo!
What's up? Thanks for joining us, dude.
What's up, Greg? I like the beard, buddy.
Dude, yeah, it's a fun life, man. Just trying to hang tight here and, make the best out of the dire straits we're in.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Good, bro?
Yeah. Just I'm working on 3 hours sleep. Did a little bit of fishing last night, so this should be fun.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, man, I really appreciate you jumping on, dude. I know I called you yesterday kind of out of nowhere. I know we haven't talked in a while. I just wanted to kind of reach out and say thank you because you're really the main the driving force. Hey man, you gotta get on Instagram. You gotta get the shop on there. This is what's happening, and you were way ahead of the curve, dude. You were diving years back. So thank you.
Yeah, well, I was just taking the lead from my wife, Alana. She was already on Instagram, and I was like, oh, this shit's pretty cool. And next thing you know, you got 18,000 followers. So you're a tech genius, Gregory.
Nothing, dude. I'll be honest. The first time you were like, "Hey, bro, throw a post up," I didn't know what to do. I was like, "What are hashtags? What is this? What is that?" So it's crazy. This has grown into, and I'm trying to do these live videos, trying to get more engaged with some of the people that are followers. We get so many messages every day. So, like I said, I'm super stoked to jump on. So, I basically wanted to ask a couple questions. Maybe you have some questions. Maybe some of the viewers have some questions. And I also wanted to say, before we get too into the talk, we got a Super Strike bottle here somewhere. It's around here on my desk or on my desk chair. I got a Super Strike bottle. So anybody wants to throw a question, I'll kind of randomly scroll through, kind of pick on one, and whoever it is, a free Super Strike bottle. So dude, tell me, bro, like where where did we meet? How did this all come about? Like when did we first kind of cross paths?
Man, it goes way back like car seats, dude. Well, so first time I was in the shop, man, a buddy of mine, Frank, that I used to work with, you know Frank.
Yeah, Fish Finder Frank.
Yeah, Fish Finder Frank. He said, yo, go check out Fisherman's Headquarters. So I drove over from Philly.
Yep.
And, you know, it's a long drive, about an hour and 20 minutes from door to door. And I get there, dude, I had to pee so bad. And I run inside, and one of your employees, old timer, Eddie. So I was like, yo, dude, I was like, I need to use your bathroom, bro. And he was like, no way. He was like, we only let, you know, you got to buy something. I'll let you use the bathroom. He's like, somebody was just in here and they blew it up. There was like crap plastered all over the toilet. And, and he was like, if you're not buying anything, you can't use the bathroom. And I was like, oh, dude, I was like, all right, well, I was like, let me get a Tika rod and a pen reel. I forget exactly what model I bought, but so it turned out to be an epic day that day. First time I was at your shop, I bought a rod, a reel, and I think a swim shad. I didn't really have anything else on me. I went to the inlet. I caught a bunch of stripers, broke my rod. The one of them got stuck on the rocks, broke the rod, went back. You gave me a new rod. Nice. And I went back and kept catching them. So that was the first time I was ever at your shop. So I'll never forget that. You know,
that's killer, dude. That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
The old rod first go.
Yeah, dude, people blow up the bathroom and see the comment.
Yeah, that's Dave. Yeah, Dave used to work at the shop. Yeah. So sorry about that, dude. But so you got geared up. You got to use the bathroom, and happy to hear you caught a bunch of fish.
Dude, it worked out, man. I got to take a leak and caught some stripers. So
that's cool, man. That's cool. So that's awesome. Yeah, Tika, I think I remember it was black and silver, right?
Yeah. That's a good rod. I still have that rod, and I use it to like fish bloodworms on the river. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I plugged with that rod for a long time, man. Matter of fact, people used to make fun of me because I had the Van Staal on that rod, and they was like, "Man, you got Van Staal at Fish and Tika." I was like, "It's a good rod, man. Don't sleep on it."
Dude,
you know?
Great stuff, man. Real good value too. You know, good quality value.
Yeah, for sure.
Where did the whole South Philly Fred come from? Tell if you know, like where it all started, how it all came about.
Well, I think you might be able to explain that one better than me, but you know, clearly, you know, it's from where I lived, right? So I used to bring in, you know, after I got to, I was like a little bit of a shop rat over there, became good friends with you, and I figured like I'm gonna bring some cheesesteaks for these guys. So I lived around the corner from Gino's and Pat's, and of course I used to always bring Pat's, not Gino's, you know. And so every time I show up, if I showed up empty-handed, everybody was upset. They were like kicking me out of the store, you know. So, and then next thing you know, you started calling me South Philly Fred every time I came in, and then it'd be South Philly Fred on your fishing reports.
Yeah.
You know, and it'd be like, South Philly Fred was on the island, you know, this, that, and the other. So that it just stuck. So then when we decided to open up our Instagram pages, you know, that was clearly the name I had to go with.
Hell yeah.
The phone, bro. Woo!
Man, that's cool, dude. It's cool. It's stuck, man.
It's stuck. Yeah.
Because I remember sharing some reports, and then I think people like started asking, like, "Oh, where's South Philly Fred fishing?" And it was more like, to me, you know, a lot of times like a newspaper guy wants to follow up on a report. They don't want to hear Fred caught a fish off the surf on LBI. So they're like, who's this Fred guy or this John guy or whatever? They always want to know, like, you know, whatever it may be. Like for me, Greg from Shipbox was fishing today, and they always want that little town to kind of put in face and kind of not just to like drum up reports and just, you know,
and dude, it just flows. It's almost like poetic. You hit the nail on the head, and You know, I was gonna wear my Eagles hat to fuck with all the New Yorkers and
No.
people up in New England, but I figured I'd spare them on that one tonight. So, one of the questions here was, how did I start surf fishing? It just caught my eye.
Cool.
A little background about myself. I was born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and literally when I walked out of my house, my foot was on the sand. So and all the old timers would be fishing constantly, and I was just drawn to it. Like sometimes fish would wash up, be flapping on the sand. I would take them home and thought I could put a little salt in the water and keep them alive. So I was always like fascinated with fish and the beach and everything, the whole like salt life, So that's how I started.
Cool.
Yeah, we got old dirty caster here clowning around. What's your favorite spots and techniques? Yeah, you know my spots, buddy. I see you following me around.
Yeah, I'm just poked around a couple questions. I might as well throw around. I didn't see much come through. The liquid fish said you got any scout gliders? No, you're gonna definitely want to out the grub. We don't really do much in the plug side of things, but we do have super. We're giving one away. So if you guys want to drop comments, we'll definitely be giving one away here later on in this session. So definitely, I know when I think about food and fishing times, I think of a lot of memories. I mean, fishing over the years from LBI to the Outer Banks. We had some awesome trips down there.
Yeah. Blue fins, yellow fins, you name it.
Yeah, catching monster tuna, dude, and go up to Cape Cod and just having a blast, So, just thinking about, maybe we could talk about some stories or whatnot about I don't know, about the past couple years. I guess maybe it's not the couple years, but a few years back,
Yeah.
Is there one that sticks out to you as like an epic roast session? We have lots and lots of really, really good fishing sessions.
The best one had to have been Montauk. The RV days. It was just silly, dude. I mean, it would be it was like four of us, and we each would have 100 fish. Like, I mean, it was just a rough estimate, but you possibly couldn't count that high, keep track of how many you caught. You know, from sundown to sunrise, it was just one after the other.
So we weren't just fishing kind of like right out front with like, all the easy spots. We took serious hikes. And I mean, is that where the name Comanche came from? The Comanche death trails and all?
Yeah, man. So I guess it all started one time. So my buddy Frank and I, we did a trip up there to Montauk. It was our first time, and we were just like, holy shit. It was like, as soon as your plug hit the water, you're in. I mean, I didn't know if it was like we got lucky, it was perfect timing. All I knew was that we were like so high on it, and we couldn't stop talking about it. And we came into your shop, and we were like just fucking grabbing all these plugs off the shelf and just talking about it. Oh, this would work great at this spot. And you overheard it.
Yeah, I remember this.
You overheard it, and you walked up, and you're like, yo, what are you guys talking about? You going to Montauk? And we were like, yeah, we just came from there. It was epic. And you're like, well, when are we going again? So
fill me in, dude. I hear about this place. What's the deal?
Yeah, so I mean, we like, you're a smart guy. We thought it all through, and we're like, yeah, so let's rent an RV, and we'll all go. It was like me, you, Blake, Frank went, Pete. Yeah. So what we did was we rented an RV like near Montauk Point, so we didn't have to drive it all the way from New Jersey.
Yep.
Right. So then we stayed there, and then the name. So Comanche, like, we've been calling each other Comanches for forever, because that was our inside joke thing, because we used to hike so much through the woods with wetsuits and all geared up, and it kind of felt like we were Indians in the woods, you know what I mean, going to hunt. And and when you're out there, man, you're a kid again, and that's what we thought about, and it made us smile when we were out there talking about it, and then only recently do we make Comanche surfcasting like a thing,
Yeah.
and to help out everyone. It helps us out. It helps out the people that sponsor us. We give them exposure, and we give content to Surfcasters Journal, which they've been with us from like day one.
Yeah,
Big
yeah, for
props
sure.
to the Surfcasters Journal. Tommy's great. Zeno's the man. We love them. And so that's how it started, And Greg, you were like the OG Comanche out there. Greg always had, yeah, exactly, dude.
Hell yeah.
And you always had, all the bright ideas where the fish might be and things like that. So you were there from day one. And so, Darren was there, you were there, like Blake,
Good time.
there's more Comanches than people know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, there's a whole pack of Indians for sure.
Yeah, whole herd of them.
Oh, cool. So yeah, it's cool you gave shout out to basically a lot of people, dude. Tommy, Surfcasters Journal. It's amazing what they've done for the sport of surfcasting. I mean, they kind of brought it out of. I kind of contribute, all of their content, their work from early books. Did. All this crazy content that Tommy put out, and obviously all the contributors like yourself, like Pete, and a bunch of other surfcasters in the world, really put a solid bit of information out there to help out a lot of whether new or just a rookie or novices to really take their game to a whole different level. To me, surf fishing in the past, I don't know, 5-10 years is a totally different ball game than it was, say, for some of the say the generation before us. So definitely shout out anybody that doesn't follow those guys. Surfcasting Journal, get on there. I don't know what you guys are doing, not following them, but you're missing out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like 100% of people watching the video definitely probably follow them. But because they're the leading source for for what we love and what we do. Nobody else really kind of comes close with being relevant. So yeah.
Question here from Surfing USA 86 and says, "What's your go-to plug or bucktail you always have on? Is there one thing you're not packing a bag and going out without having it? Is there one thing?"
Oh, dude.
I guess it all depends on what you're doing, where you're going, right? What time?
Yeah, man. I don't want to sound cheesy, but you gotta have like an SP minnow in there.
Yeah.
It just finds fish, and once you find them, then you put something else on that you rather catch them on. But like that's fish just eat the damn thing, and that's that, end of story. People compare it to like bait fishing. You know what I mean? It's like it's cheating if you're using an SP. Well, guess what? At least I caught one. You know what I mean? So.
No, you're right. Yeah, boat fish is cheating, bait fish SPs.
Yeah.
Going, man.
Yeah. But I guess that it's really versatile. You know what I mean? Like you can use that one plug for so many different conditions. Like basically, like if you have no movement in the water, if you have strong current, it doesn't matter. It works. You know what I mean? If you have waves, if it's dead calm, it works. Like under all those conditions, where other plugs you might have to carry like a few different models to to be able to fish all those conditions. You know what I mean? So in my mind, that's that. But like obviously bucktails kind of do the same thing, but you're gonna have to have a different array of weights depending on depth and wind and current and all that stuff. So I'd have to say I know it's a cheesy answer, but
I like it.
That new hydro minnow is pretty cool too.
Dude, Hydro and the Mag Darter, both of those are some gems.
Yeah. So
another question here that comes in about the white rod, dude. What is that white rod you fish? So this guy knows about the magic stick, bro.
Wait, who asked about the white rod?
M. Portanova.
Okay. Well, so the white rod, man. Also,
tell everybody what it is.
So the white rod's a Vapor Trail. It's a two-piece,
That's what
three to
yes, rod.
CTS 3 to 6. Yeah. All the that story came about. I believe actually Dante was bringing him in, or um, his buddy was, and you built the rod for me. I believe it was one of like the first
It
like
was not, yeah,
rod
first vapor trails.
one of the first ones, and it was when they first started bringing in different colors. You had a red one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Yep.
had a red one. I had a white one.
Dude, the thing was, by the sun, bro, it started turning pink on me. I had like this pink match stick. But I think it was sweet.
They're good rods. They're great rods. I really like it, and it's one of those things. It hits like all across the board. You know, you can fish light to heavy plugs. I throw like a sinking stick shad with it, and I could throw one of the real light magic tail bucktail. Since I see him up there, you know, I could throw I could throw like a half ounce with it. I could throw a 4.5 ounce stick shad. It doesn't matter. It's a good rod, you know.
For sure. But there's one other question here that I kind of saw. Obviously, there's one that says fishing blue. Yeah, it seems like there's very, very spread. One or two in there. I heard one or two at Brereton Bay, and I just heard him text me a kid in town, Gray. I don't know if Gray's on Gray Colton. He said he just lost one at the bridge. Or probably shouldn't have said that, but just face lost a little broke off, trying to pull it over the dock. So not really yet. Somewhere there's a question. I just scrolled past it. I'm going back to it. I'm kind of lost here. I forget about it. I don't know. Something. Oh, yeah. Here. What advice would you give someone searching for bigger fish from the surf? I mean, that's pretty open-ended. Clearly, you found some quality fish off the surf. You're very, very experienced, land-based angler. Obviously, you've caught lots of fish in the boat. Caught hundreds of pounds of tuna. Among many other species. But what kind of advice would you give someone that wants to get bigger fish from the surf? I guess fish is pretty open-ended. Down south, could be local here, what have you.
Yeah, so my advice would be, if you're looking for bigger fish from the surf, kind of get in tune with what bait's in the area at that time. You know, kind of try to figure out like bait migrations, and what time bunker's there, what time herring's there, what time like even kingfish. So some of the larger bait, even weak fish. So if you're looking for bigger fish, you got to start looking for bigger bait. Because I'm not saying elephants don't eat peanuts, one of Greg's quotes, but you got to start big. If you want a big fish, you gotta try to figure out where the big bait is, and that all starts with scouting. You know, you go to different spots that have structure, currents. Go there, look, see if you see bait floating around. See, fish small, little small bucktail. See if you can catch small fish that they might be feeding on. Be in tune with their with the large fish behavior. Like when they spawn, obviously if they're spawning, it's not a good time to go to the beach and try to target them, you know what I mean? So you have to use a little bit of common sense, and then you have to find the big bait, and then you just have to put your time in. I mean, you have to put hours and hours and hours and hours to figure it out. And and sometimes it's dangerous. You can driving home 3, 4 in the morning, a long drive or whatever. It's dangerous. So you just be safe, guys. You go to hunt these fish, and if you're by yourself, it's a nor'easter. You're on the jetty on a dangerous inlet. There's always potential for risks. So as much as we enjoy the risk, to me, it gives me like an adrenaline. I'm like shaking, especially if I hook onto a fish under those conditions. I'm by myself or whatever.
With that was better.
Like to me, that's what gets my heart going. But I always take precaution. I'm very light on my feet, and I never just walk right out. I always wait to see if it's washing over, if there's waves. So you have to be safe when you're out there in the middle of the night hunting big fish.
So Anthony, you got a pretty epic answer right there, bro. As far as search for bigger fish, I think you just spilled some serious beans. Cat's out of the bag. So hopefully you guys got other questions here. Gregory, straight up water. I got hydrated, you know.
Yeah.
But the question is, what's in Freddie's glass?
Oh, dude, just some super dark coffee here. I'm just trying to stay up. Like I only got 3 hours of sleep last night. Baby woke up at 6, and I'm like dead right now. But I do have some water. I have some wine here, so I have some choices too.
Got them lined up. Nice. So, dude, when we kind of thought about throwing this together, I thought that, you know, there's a lot of brands out there, right? A lot of products, and you know, some have kind of really stuck in the fishing world in that, you know, in that niche, really hardcore surf for a number of years. I mean, yeah, a lot of big rods. There's lots of brands that make reels. But I mean, the two brands, Lamiglass being one, and Van Staal being two, those brands have really to be like the foundation of surfcasting, whether it's hardcore surf or anything in between.
Well, you're absolutely right, and they're just timeless brands. I mean, time can just keep going and going and going, and they're going to be the most relevant name in the business. And that goes back to the previous question, you know, and what I was getting into, the risks of being out on the jetty and things like that. As much as you want to make sure you're safe out there, it kind of aligns with the equipment you have with you. Even though it's not a safety, but if you're going to make this long, you know, if you're going to put, I mean, theoretically, your life on the line or your health, you want to make sure you go out there and you don't have any equipment malfunctions. Now, everything malfunctions from time to time, especially in the salt water. You know, let's face it, the salt water destroys everything. But as far as your choices go, I mean, come on. I mean, like I fished my first Van Staal 200 I bought from you. Craig almost slapped me upside the head when I told him I haven't had it serviced in, I believe it was like 10 years. And it was working fine, you know. And he said, dude, he wouldn't let me leave with the reel. He said, give me your reel. I'm gonna send it to have it serviced, you know. So, but like I said, it didn't need to be serviced. But we just serviced it just the sheer of like, it's like when your oil changes though, it's either you hit the miles or you hit the date, you know what I mean? So I guess I hit the date, so. And the miles too, I guess. The thing just keeps going.
You put miles in that reel, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So dude, I know that, we touched on that, the white rod, right? That was a rod I remember building from. There's also one other rod that I built for you also a long time ago. So can you share a little about that rod? I mean, I remember it's a GSB from Lamiglass.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure it was, I mean, you can go ahead. Tell what you know.
Well, so at that time and still till today, I was fishing a lot of inlets, deep inlets. So, you know, in the inlet, well, specifically the ones I was fishing, I didn't need distance. So we went with a 10-foot GSB, and we cut 6 inches off. Okay, so now this rod.
It's where we cut the 6 inches.
This rod is amazing. Like I use it constantly. I mean, it's one of my favorite rods. For reason being is like if I hook a fish in an inlet in the current, this thing is stopping it. You know, it's super strong. I can pull fish up on the rocks, and I'm not dealing with an 11-foot rod where it's real goofy to pull the fish up. You can probably snap your rod. This thing's 9.5, and I just, you know, I have no problems with it. Like I said, the thing's super tough. It has a lot of bend to it, but it's strong.
Cool. So yeah. I'm still fishing.
You did that sick cork foregrip on there, the checkered style.
Yeah.
It's nice.
One of the first rods I did that on. With I mean, the first few rods I did it on.
dude, it's nice and aged now. It looks beautiful. So
Yeah,
thank
holding
you.
up good. She's holding up good.
Oh, holding up perfect, dude.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm stoked you're still putting it to work. That's awesome.
Oh my God, yeah, it was working last night and the night before. So
Hell yeah. So Atomic BBQ says, do we have the carb of the rod from last 11 foot in stock? So right now we don't. It was a plan to have it for the deliveries. And to be honest, I canceled a lot of deliveries, the whole pandemic going, trying to cover some bases. So Atomic BBQ, I'm not sure if you're local or not. If you rod, I can get it for you somewhat quick. Just reach out with a DM and we'll get that for you. H. Burgess 24 says, what are 5 lures you should have in your bag this year? So do you have maybe 5 lures you want to drop in? You fish a lot of different brands. I know you fish some custom stuff, and I know some of the custom stuff might not be as easy to get, but maybe you can give some shout outs, some names, and maybe help Burgess out.
yeah, well, definitely, man. I mean, right off the bat, you need to cover the water column. Okay, 5 plugs is a good start to cover different parts of the water column. So let's just start with bucktails. You know, you have to have at least 4 to 5 different bucktails in your bag to different weights. Then you need to have a big swim shad and a smaller swim shad.
I knew that was coming on the top of the
You got to have it. You know, you need to. Especially if you're fishing like deeper water around rocks, things like that. You just want to slow crawl that thing on the bottom and wait for the thump.
Bro, you roasted me, bro. Roasted me. And you were doing on the beef, bro, or the deep tsunami shad, killing them.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
hell yeah. The shads work so good sometimes.
Yep. Yep. So, so that's 1 and 2. And then I would say a Super Strike bottle, Super Strike darter, and a North Bar bottle darter.
Right on.
Reason being is the North Bar is going to go deeper, especially if you keep your tip down and sweep it real hard. You can get that North Bar to go really, really deep, whereas Super Strike and the bottle will be, you know, probably half the depth of the North Bar. If you load the North Bar, you can get it to go even deeper. So those are the 5 that I would have with me, and then maybe an SP minnow in my back pocket for, you know, just in case.
That's a serious spread, dude. So most people, if they're not familiar, those are some somewhat larger lures. Bottle darter is not a small lure. The star is not a small lure. The Super Strike bottle is not a small lure.
Yeah.
And, you mentioned the tsunami shad. Those are small. So that's definitely saying something that Freddie likes fishing some bigger stuff. And,
well,
here's
the thing. Here's the thing. It's funny that you say that. And Dante's right. Redfin and bombers. Yeah, of course. But you know, like I said, it all depends. Like, you know, when I'm reading in Old Dirty Caster said CV troller, he's letting all the secrets out, but you know, he's gotta be quiet over there. But no, anyway, you're talking about big plugs. The CV troller is a really big plug. What? I've caught fish about 18 inches, 12 inches on those big plugs. It doesn't, just because you're fishing a big plug, it doesn't mean you're going to catch only big fish. You're going to catch a lot of little fish that have a lot of balls hitting those plugs. And it, you know, it doesn't, I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. We got Dante and Old Dirty Caster over here clowning around. These guys are funny as hell.
So Terry, who CV is? You know, CV troller. I don't think people, you know, maybe people do know, maybe they don't.
Well, so CV is Chris Voorhies' initials, and as soon as he puts them up for sale, they're gone in like 1 second. He does it like
1 minute, they're gone.
Yeah. So fortunately, you know, he's a fellow Comanche that's been there from day one, and he's our good buddy. And I get him secondhand from like Pete and stuff, and then I just like spray paint him a little bit to bring him back to life.
Yeah, big wood chips hanging at him. Here, you can have this one. I'll trade you this one. That's how I got one. Pete traded me an old beat up one. I was like, oh, dude, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you.
Dude, I have one that's
Videos are top notch, bro. I've been watching some of the stuff going on in. I mean, the content that's coming out of his garage, dude, is off the charts. So that's props to you and the whole Comanche crew.
Absolutely, and I feel like he's just getting started too. I mean, so Chris's story is in a nutshell is like he just built plugs for himself.
Yeah.
You know, he built them for specific spots, and we were lucky enough to be like, what the hell is that, and why does it work so good? And you know, and so he threw us a bone here and there, and it turns out it works in a lot of other places, not just the places he fishes. So so for the most part, I feel like he didn't really mess around with his color schemes too much in the beginning. It was more just the concept and the function of the plug. And now I feel like he's just getting started. His paint work is just like unreal, man. You know, so yeah, I can't even get those, man.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of his plugs. I only have I think I got one black and purple that gave me. I don't know. I had to trade him. He needed something. I forget what it was. It was begging for something. I was like, that's one right there, bro.
Yeah.
And I knew it was beat up, but I knew it had the mojo. I need the mojo in my bag.
Yeah.
So I remember getting out. I caught some fish on. I haven't got any slobs, but I definitely caught some fish on. It was just, deep diving, black and purple, big yellow eyes on it. It was cool.
Yeah, believe it or not, I haven't lost one yet. I'd imagine losing one would be like losing your firstborn or something of that nature. But like, I don't want that day to come.
Oh man. So anybody out there, we are giving away a Super Strut bottle, battling bottle plug from Super Strut. If you got a comment, we'll scroll here in a little bit. I don't know when we're checking off now or later, but if you guys got questions, shoot them at us. This is Freddie from Surfcasters. You guys are jumping on here. You don't Greg from Fishing Headquarters. Like I said, that's Freddie. If you guys got questions, reach out. Like I said, in a little bit, we'll be giving away a Super Strike bottle plug. Anybody doesn't know what that is? Great little swimming plug. Sometimes they're called the battling swimmer. Sometimes they're known as the bottle. Bottle plugs a super universal lure. It's done me well on numbers of different occasions. There's something that I really like about it. I'm not sure maybe if you agree with it or not, but I find that the bottle can really dig in and kind of hold me to a good, where sometimes a darter might kind of roll out and kind of sweep by like some wind or current. And there's not a lot of plugs that kind of hold you the way that a bottle holds. There's something special about the North Bar bottle darter and also the Super Strike bottle, where you can get it out there, stab it in there, and it kind of holds tight. And you can kind of feel it.
Well, that plug.
Something I love about those lures that they're so universal and they catch fish.
Well, that plug is pretty much like telling you, "Hey, I'm here working." You know what I mean? When you feel it, you know it's working. A lot of times, like your standard darters are, you don't feel it, but it's working too. So it's good to have both, in my opinion, because I don't know. It's kind of weird, and maybe you guys can comment on this. It seems like when they're on the bottle, they're on the bottle. They won't really hit the darter. But if they're on the darter, they're on the darter. They don't really hit the bottle. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you can comment on that, or maybe that's just an experience. I had
both, dude.
Huh?
Dante says you got to have both.
You got to have both. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to have both.
So Dante also mentioned you need to get more plugs in the shop, wood plugs. So something that we dipped and dabbled in was a little bit of wood here and a little bit of wood there. Gibbs has been a classic name for us. We just actually cut Gibbs back just recently. There's something that I don't really want to get involved in with lures, and it's kind of wood plugs. I think there's right now there's the technology and there's the marketplace on social media, whether it's the market, and other places. clubs and stuff like that, where I don't think, in my opinion, that a tackle shop needs to be loaded with every lure from A to Z. As far as wood goes, talking wood only. It just seems there's so many builders out there, and so many builders make some awesome stuff. For me as a tackle shop, to book them out and order, put the money out to get it, and then give that space to that particular builder. There's kind of a lot of give and take. There's a lot of responsibility on my side, but there's a lot of responsibility on the builder side to say, hey man, you're that dedicated space. I need to turn and burn these plugs. And for me, I'm not saying these builders, but one it's all about every fish and needlefish. The seals are up everywhere. Maybe needlefish and diamond jigs, and then another season we get more peanut bunker. And all of a sudden, it's like pads and some small wood, little chubby swimmers and stuff. And next season, everything's always changing. So for me, on the business side, anybody who wants to know why us and Fisherman's Headquarters don't stock much wood, that's really my reasoning behind it. One, a lot of these plug builders make limited runs. There's different styles, colors. Things are always in flux. Two, there's not much margin, so I'm not in the business to give stuff away, so I need to sell to make a profit. I need to pay my employees and take the lights on and all that stuff. So I just feel that, the custom wood game for anglers, it's really best for them just to reach out directly with the builders on social media and really get all the information, the ins and outs about it. And it kind of doesn't make me be the salesman to kind of learn everyone's lore as they're doing, changing, or what they're doing. So yeah, hopefully that points in the right direction. Dante, I know you've got all the doors, so I know you're for wood. But for the other guys, get out to the fishing markets in the wintertime. Get out to the fishing day. Zeno does Striper Day. Surfcasting Journal. Get out there and really get dialed in with these builders and really be in their head and learn from them about build something and what they're doing and kind of the reason, for different design lures that they make. So hopefully that shines a little bit of light on some wood. There is one other wood lure company that Guppy was one. Stocked Guppy for a long time. All poppers. Recently they kind of cut back. They had some things going on. I don't know if it's family, whatever, it's life, personal life, where they cut back. Kind of couldn't get them. Went over to something else. And then Comic BBQ is mentioning sporting wood. So obviously, Freddie, you fish with Larry. Larry North Bar is also the minds behind, the woodcutter at Sporting Wood. And those bottles and also pencil poppers, his wood darters, oh my Lord. Phenomenal stuff. Yeah. I don't know how many fish I've caught with darters and pencil poppers. His bottle, personally, I haven't fished as much as the other two lures I mentioned, but that one darter, oh more.
Yeah. Phenomenal. It's a great darter, and I believe you turned this on to it in Montauk, I believe, right?
Possibly. So I got to give full credit where credit's due. Larry mentioned the darters to me, and it's like, dude, this is like the classic Montauk darter. You need these. And I'm like, yeah, cool. I got this darter, that darter, a bunch of darters. And I was kind of narrow-minded, man. I was like, why do I need so many different darters, right? And I had like an after hours. Obviously a bunch of super strikes, and then a couple like local small builders that nobody really knows that were making some real good stuff that was catching fish on. But Otis from Gear Up was at a fishing flea market and was like, had like 4 or 5 showed them to me. I was like, what are you doing 4 or 5? He's like, dude, just get over there, talk to Larry, get yourself at least a couple. And I'm so happy I did. I did it. And I must have had probably 20 or 30 of those over years. I don't know, I say years, probably in the past, say 4 years. I'd say I turned on to about 4 years ago. But so many of them, they get split, they get waterlogged. You catch fish on wood lures, they get beat up, they get trapped. So shout out to Otis Gear Up. He makes an awesome bag, casting products. But he also fishes his ass off. Fish out with him now at Montauk, up in Sandy Hook, as we're in bed, all over the place. And he's definitely shared a lot of intel with and some of it was very, very good. Some of it maybe I haven't realized that it was as good, what he told me actually to work yet. So still got things in my back pocket kind of from Atis. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Maybe somebody correct me. One of those names. Atis, Otis.
No, I think you're right. Yeah.
So we got a few. What about a needle fisher? Needles?
Yeah. Needles are oh man. When you say needles, first thing I think of is the epic LBI needle bite. Oh man, we roasted them, dude. That was crazy. Matter of fact,
That's the same thing I thought of.
Like before we even met Pete, he saw us going out on the sandbar, and he was chunking, and we were on the sandbar just roasting one after the other. Well, not really that night, but the next morning, we got him really good. But he was watching us catch fish out there, and he was like, "Who are these guys?" You know. And then he just told me a couple years ago that he saw us out there.
We waited way the hell out, dude, to that bar.
Yeah.
We saw that there was some little activity. It's not like they were blitzing. We saw like a little something going on. It looked like the water. I mean, it was pretty rough. We were taking him on the head, but I got out to that sandbar, dude. It was like pulling hard. It was sweeping.
Yeah.
I know we were trying to dig our toes in and try to stay there, but
I had a
couple lures and got some fish.
I had a hard time getting on the bar. I was like swimming my ass off. I couldn't get on. And then I looked at you, and you were pole vaulting off the bottom. I didn't think I could reach the bottom, and you were pushing yourself off the bottom. And I was like, all right, that's the move. So once we got up on there, though, that was fun as hell. And Pete was so jealous, man. He said he didn't catch shit, and we were getting them like one after the other. And that was way before anybody knew anything about what was going to happen that year. And it turned out, dude, it turned out to be probably the best bite you guys ever had on that island, right? Arguably, maybe. There was people from all over the Northeast on that island.
Yeah, I would say for sure, man. That was, I mean, in my lifetime, as far as surf bites go, it wasn't like the epicness of big fish. Like I think a lot of people saw in like in the 90s, which was kind of before my time when I was a little kid. You know, so but yeah, I would say in my teenage years and older, those years that were about 2011-ish,
right?
2012 in there. Those fall runs, dude, were something.
I don't know if I told you this, right? But the next day you were like, dude, it's gonna tee off. We gotta be there for first light. And I was like, all right, I'll come back up. I'll make the long drive from Philly. And you're like, yeah, dude, just come by my house and pick me up and let's go. And I get to your house. I think it was probably like 4 a.m. And I'm calling you. I'm like banging on your window. I'm banging on your door. And I'm like, this motherfucker's still sleeping, won't wake up. I just drove all the way from Philly out here. And I was fucking pissed, dude. I was so pissed. And I was like, whatever. I'm going to go find him on my own, right? So I had bought a needle. It was like the Super Strike needle slow sink. It was like yellow over white. Still had the stock hooks on it, right? So I'm like, yeah, whatever. These fish are probably going to be small, right? So I go, I don't know, I forget where, like Harvey Cedars, somewhere around there. Dude, the ocean was like a lake. There's like no wind. It was just like completely glass. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's see what we got here. So, dude, I put that needle on, right? First cast, soon as the thing hit the water, boom! Just a freaking explosion, dude. And that was the next day after we were out swimming on the bar, right? So that day, the fish were actually big. I had fish from 20 to 30 pounds. And guess what happened to those stock hooks? Broke, dude. Broke. And I was freaking out. So I'm like using my fingernails to take the split ring off other lures and put it on that. And I was like, oh my God, once I got it back on, it was like on. And then as like the day went on, they kept moving out, and out. And then eventually they were out of reach. But yeah, so in the beginning, there was a push of some really, really nice fish with the sandy. What's that?
I think you were one of the only ones to be on.
I was the only one on the beach that day. So at least that I could see, you know. So it's a shame you missed it, but I'm sure you got your rest.
Yeah, I had to get my beauty rest, man. No, I sleep really good, bro. I sleep really good. I mean, when I'm out, man, he can hit me, shake me, bro. I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping.
Listen, I'm not. If I didn't,
I probably have to set my alarm or something. One of those. That's the only time for sure.
yeah,
I know that. But I know for one, I get a lot of people that bail out on me fishing a lot, like with the boat, like chartering and stuff like that. And it's kind of like one and done, man. You know, like you get burned once or twice. Like you were just saying, like you get so pissed. It's like, dude, I got all my shit together. I drove an hour and a half out here. I'm ready to go, and then you like left me in the dust. Like,
yeah.
I apologize, dude. Sorry.
Nah, man. You know what? Like, you know, it would have been cool to have you there, so we could just be laughing and fucking, you know, doubled up the whole morning. But it's all right, you know.
Yep. So one of these questions came about, asked about tide. Anthony said favorite tide, right? And Dante reaches out and says plugging, first few hours of income. So to anybody out there, man, I get so many phone calls to the shop and all the guys at the shop. Every single person asks, what time is high tide? What time is high tide? What time is high tide? What time is no one. I don't think we've ever had a phone call of somebody calling up, hey, how you guys doing? What time is low tide? And I don't get it. It was maybe a week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I talked about current, tide versus current, different times of year about temperature and current, where you get different different tides have different water flow and ocean water, warmer water out of the bay. Talked about all that. So it's really special to me that Dante, who's probably one of the most experienced, best pluggers of LBI's long time surf fishing, say history. Definitely caught some of the biggest of LBI surf. Say more so in modern day. I'm not talking like in the 60s and 70s and who knows what went on, during the moratorium after it. But long story short is anyone who doesn't know who Dante Maggiatail is knows his shit, and he's telling you first 2 hours of incoming tide are promising. So I want to call up and ask what time low tide time rather than high tide.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Dante's a really good fisherman. He knows what he's talking about, man. I give that guy credit when it's due, man. He's a hell of a fisherman.
Oh yeah, he also says current, wait till it slows. So there's some good intel. Shout out to Sporting Wood, North Bar Tackle. Appreciate you guys jumping on here and kind of joining us in the talk. We probably should have had one or two of those to give away too. Maybe I'll just throw it in there. I don't have it, but I'll grab a shop and we'll. Think, dude, like the yellow, like the banana. I always call it my lucky banana. It's all yellow. North Bar bottle. Is that the one?
Yeah. Yellow. You can't go wrong with yellow, man. Yeah.
All right, that's what we'll do. We'll give away one lucky banana, and then I got this bottle from Super Strike, the purple pent. So anybody who's on here right now, I see currently at this second, if you have put a comment, drop a comment, whether it's a hi, a thumbs up, something, word, right on, whatever you want to put on there, fire. I'm going to give a quick look. And I'm just going to randomly pick some. To be honest, if it's anyone who works in the shop, you're not getting it. Sorry. And Dante, you're not getting it either. You got enough lures. But anybody other than hey, Dante, Blake, some of the guys work at the shop are on here. You got to crack it. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the top. I'm going to scroll over to the bottom. I'm going to scroll around here a little bit. It's kind of what I'm doing right now. And we'll land on somebody. And they'll win 2 lures. So if you guys got questions, throw them in. We've only got like 5 minutes left before we're going to kick this off. They only give you an hour. It's kind of crazy. It went quick. So once again, Freddie, I really appreciate you jumping on, sharing some some info, some stories, do a little question and answer. That intel, obviously you spent so many hours due to dedication, obviously scouting, driving, because you don't live right on, surf. Wherever you're driving, late nights to Montauk and back. I mean, the red eye dude driving out to Cape. I mean, we obviously North Carolina a bunch, and obviously fishing the hell out of New Jersey's, shore, the whole coast and so I mean, all that dedication, that time really goes a long way, and it shows you got a lot of nice fish and a lot of good experiences and a lot of good intel to share. But I'm still scrolling around here. I'm gonna scroll around a little bit more, and I'm gonna kind of land on somebody here in a second. I mean, if you kind of look at the 3, 2, 1, what I'll do is whoever's on the bottom. So wherever I stop, when you say 3, 2, 1. Right above that black line, I'll screenshot it, and that person will win. And like I said, Dante, it's not going to work. Stop. Those dropping them in some stuff, fire, whatever you guys want to do. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If Adam Shearer wins, you're off the list too, bro. You got enough lures. Anybody else other than those guys, it's fair game. So any minute, dude, just give me the if you want, and I'll screenshot it. I'm scrolling right
now. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, my hands are off. All right, so I'm gonna screenshot this just for shits and giggles because it's actually somebody who's at the shop. So it can't be him. I didn't realize he's still in here. So that's Gucci 126. That's Paul. He works in the shop. Technically, he's one of the new guys in the block. So COVID-19 thing came out, all the guys say, hey, look, we got to cut our staff. And, taking some time off. So we'll Paul, I'll give you something, bro. Maybe it'll be some gem out of my staff, but it's not going to be, dude. It's just not fair. So let me scroll on more, dude. You do the countdown again. We'll see who it is.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, my hands are off. And I don't know who Williams EJ3 is, but I just got it. His question was, because it was whoever the question is. Oh, boy. So I screenshot it. I definitely got that saved. I just got to scroll back. Sorry, I lost the spot. He asked about the beach access. I don't know where the hell it is, but I saw the question. It was along the lines of what's up with the ship out of beach access. So right now, I actually just got off the phone with the mayor, talking for a long time. Favorite wants to know, LBI, a lot of the beaches are closed. I begged the mayor. You guys know the mayor, he's a long-time angler. And he really wants the beach open for fishing, knows the value, the openness of the beach and where you can get out, fresh air, take a dog for a walk, get some exercise, go fish and catch fish for dinner. So he said, look, we really want to, we had to close of obviously the situation, but we basically just opened up to residents only, which is kind of, it's kind of a low blow. I'd like to see it open to everyone. That was my argument. I wanted to see it but that's the first step in the direction. So just to head up, still closed unless you are, your driver's license says you're a ship-out resident. Surf City and Barnegat are still open. So if you're out of town, you want to get some fresh air, you can check those two spots out. Just a heads up, dude. I got 1 minute 30 seconds left. I just want to say thank you again. First and foremost, dude. Got on Instagram. Awesome call. I can't thank you enough. It's meant the world to me, dude. Thank you so much. So I appreciate that, and also really appreciate your jumping on tonight.
Yeah, man. It's always fun to talk about fishing, especially with you. We have a lot of memories, and good job with your Instagram there. Good job with the shop. Good job with everything, man. It's nice to catch up with you. All right.
Thank you, brother. Have a great night.
All right, guys. All right.
Sleeping back home.
All right. Peace.